Welcome to Competition Curious, a blog, vlog, and podcast for business owners and marketers who are curious about running competitions. As always, I am your host, Suki Van Kay. I am the world's first and only expert, strategist, and complete nerd when it comes to competitions. In today's episode 4, I want to share with you an unpopular opinion, and that is that like and follow to win competitions are a complete and utter waste of your time and money. But don't despair, I'm also going to show you what you can do instead. So if you're ready to learn an unpopular opinion, let's dive in. Running a competition on social media, especially Instagram, for likes and follows is an absolute waste of your time and money. There, I said it. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I do have evidence to back up my claim. So these are the most common type of competition you are most likely to see out in the wild, especially on social media for obvious reasons. Sometimes you may also see, especially on Instagram, the type of competition that asks you to like the competition post, follow the account, and also tag friends in the comments for extra entries. Now, this may seem amazing in theory because the people that you will tag or the people that your entrants will tag in the comments will then also see your post, and then in theory they will also enter your competition, which means following you. So it's a great way to boost your followers. Or so the theory goes. You may think that this is the only option when it comes to running competitions, but the problem is this is actually the least effective way to leverage competitions for your business, especially if your aim is to grow your business, to generate leads, or to get sales. So I want to explain to you a little bit about why this is the case and what you can do instead to run much more effective competitions. The first reason I have beef with these like and follow to win competitions is because they're actually really expensive. Now, you may be thinking, Suki, what on earth are you on about? It's completely free for me to post on social media. It's completely free for me to ask people to like my posts, and it's completely free for me to get followers. And to you, I would say, yes, that is completely correct. But let's think about what happens after you've actually gained these entries for your competition. So let's say that you run a like us on Facebook to win style competition and you get 1,000 new followers, which is amazing. Great result. Well done. Now, let's say your competition is closed, you've announced your winner, it's all hunky-dory, everyone's really happy. Now you actually want to reach those 1,000 followers that you've gained with your competition. You want to tell them about your latest product and you want to hopefully generate a few sales. As we discussed in the previous episode, organic reach on social media is actually really quite poor. And according to Hootsuite, who schedule posts for a living, so you'd think that they would have a little bit of an idea of what they're talking about, have predicted that at the time this was going out, organic reach is about 5.2%. So that means that in this example we're talking about where you've just got 1,000 entries for your competition, 1,000 new followers for your page, of those 1,000 people that you've just spent your money, potentially if you've advertised, and your time and your effort and your brain space to gain, 52 of them will actually see your post. Now, you might think that's not actually that bad, but that's 52 people who will see your post, not necessarily 52 people who will click on your post, and definitely not 52 people who will actually purchase from you. Think of it this way. It's like hiring a nightclub to celebrate your birthday. You stand outside to welcome all of your guests in, say hello to everyone, compliment their outfits, accept all of their wonderful gifts, shuffle them into the nightclub to have a great time to celebrate your birthday. Now, as the last guest turns up, wishes you a happy birthday and heads on into the club, you turn to follow them and the bouncer puts his hand out and says, no, there's an entry fee. And you're like, but I've hired this club. I've brought all of these people here. What are you talking about? This is exactly what is happening on social media. It's exactly what is happening with Facebook and Instagram, especially. So once you've got these 1,000 entries, these 1,000 followers on Facebook, because of that organic reach we've just talked about being so low, around about 5.2%, this means if you want to reach all 1,000, or at least the vast majority of those 1,000 people that you've just collected with all the time and effort and brain space, potentially money you've put into that competition, you're now going to have to pay with ads if you want to reach them. This is kind of insane when you think about it, but this is exactly what is happening. So yes, it's true. The upfront cost of running a competition may seem very, very low. I mean, really all you have to put up is the cost of the prize. Everything else pretty much is free unless you advertise your competition. The problem is, if you want to turn these entrants on social media into website visitors, into actual purchases, the long-term cost of running a like and follow to win competition is actually extremely high. My second major beef with these like and follow to win competitions is that they are hugely time consuming. Again, you might be thinking, what is this chick on about? I don't have to do anything. I just have to put a post up on social media and my followers will do the rest. They will even, if I offer extra entries, tag their friends and I get even more followers and entries. Yes, again, correct. But think about this from a long-term perspective and what you actually have to do after your competition is closed. So this is where like and follow to win competitions become a complete pain in the proverbial. So when it comes time to actually seeing your entries, collating your entries, getting your entries in one place, you can actually draw the winner. Facebook and Instagram especially do not make this easy. So they will let you see a list of your followers. All you have to do on your Instagram profile, for example, is click your following and you'll be able to see a complete list of people who follow you. The problem is there are no dates on this. So you have no idea whether the person at the top of your list followed you yesterday or whether they followed you 5 years ago. So it's completely impossible to actually pull a list of followers from your social media account who actually entered your competition within the time frame. Now, admittedly, when it comes to like to win competitions, this is actually a little bit easier because you do have a list of people who've liked your specific post. The challenge here again is that you have to make sure all of those entries are actually on one specific post. If you have posted multiple posts during your competition to promote your competition, which is what I would usually recommend you do, you will most likely have entries here, there, and everywhere across multiple different posts. And if you've promoted your competition across both Facebook and Instagram, you've then got entries across 2 different channels, which are going to be next to impossible to collate. There are, of course, tools that can help you. One such tool is Woobox, and I do believe that their winner picker for comments and likes is still currently free, but it is limited to 1 post. So you need to make sure that you are very, very clear in your rules that people need to enter on this 1 specific post, because that's where you're going to be drawing your winner from. Woobox, for example, these apps that pick winners from social media posts, can't pick them from multiple posts across multiple different platforms. You need to be really, really careful if you persist in running these types of competitions. Now, I'm not a complete Debbie Downer when it comes to social media competitions. I know that there is a time and a place for like and follow to win competitions, especially, for example, if your goal is actually to grow your social following, or if you actually already generate a huge amount of sales from your social media. It's not impossible to run these types of competitions. And as I've just said, there are tools like Woobox that can help you to run them. It just means that you need to know in advance going in that it will be fiddly, that it will be complicated, and that you do need to make it super, super clear for your audience how you're going to be picking your winner and whether they need to enter on 1 single post or not. My final and biggest beef with like and follow to win competitions is that they can actually have really poor ROI. Now, ROI stands for return on investment and basically means what you put into something versus what you get back out of something. So if you spend $100 on your competition, you would at least expect to make $100 back, if not more. Usually when we talk about ROI for a competition, we are talking about the sales and the revenue generated from your entrants as a result of directly running that competition versus the amount that it cost you to run that competition in the first place. Because of what we've already spoken about already, with organic reach being so poor, and also with the difficulty of actually navigating running competitions on social platforms and the time that you need to put into actually create this competition and run it on social media, and even just to draw your winner, just how much time is needed. generally, social media competitions do have a pretty poor ROI. If you were to directly post an offer to your audience after your competition, it would be a much poor return on that investment than if you collected emails and sent an email offer out to that list. Just because open rates, click-through rates, engagement rates, even just the amount of people who see your post on social media is so much lower than by email. The time and money required to run a like and follow to win competition is considerable. So if you are still thinking of running this type of competition, it's not impossible, but I would definitely advise you to have a very clear and definite system in place to actually convert these followers or likers into purchases after the competition if you want a good return on the time, effort, money, and brain space you have put into running this competition. Okay, so at the top of the episode, I did say to you that I would also share with you what to do instead. Now, I know that social media following is something that is very important to a lot of small businesses. It's important to me too. It is a sign of social proof. It is a sign of popularity, which makes us feel good. We're all human, I'm not going to lie. And if you're really good with social media, then it can also lead to a lot of sales, a lot of inquiries, a lot of leads. My favorite part, a lot of amazing relationships. I know myself that I've made some amazing connections on social media. So I'm not saying don't run these types of competitions, but I'm saying that there are ways you can be a little bit smarter about running these types of competitions. And there are ways that you can structure them slightly different so that you still get your followers, you still get your likes, you still get to fill all of those boxes that social media fulfills for you, but you don't rely solely on pushing everyone onto a platform you're then going to have to pay to access after. So one of my absolute favorite techniques when it comes to competitions for collecting followers and likers, but also collecting email addresses and having a high ROI on your competition is something I do with all of my clients. And this is to run an enter your email to win style competition. So the entry mechanism is not on social media. You don't have all the pain in the bum stuff to deal with of trying to pull your winner list or using an app to pick a winner from your likers, comments, or followers. What you do instead is you drive the traffic to your website and you collect their email address and their name. Now, the clever part here is once they've entered your competition, they are going to be looking for some kind of confirmation that their entry has gone through. So in return for their email address, the second that that enters the competition, the second that it hits your email system, you will then send them an email to say, thank you for your entry. You're now in the draw to win. In this email, which they are going to open because they want to confirm that their entry has actually been counted, you pop in there. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram or Facebook or your other preferred social channel for updates on the competition and to find out if you're our winner. This is a really clever way to tick so many boxes, and it's why I love it so much. So first of all, you are getting your email into their inbox the second that they give you their email. This is great for your email platform. Because the entrant wants confirmation that their entry has actually been counted, they're going to open that email and they're going to read it. This, again, is fantastic for your email platform provider. They want to see inbox deliveries, they want to see opens, and ideally they want to see engagement. Which brings us to them clicking on your social media links. And you do actually get a really high click-through from these emails. I would usually see around a 10% click-through on these links when I send them out as part of my competitions. I don't worry that this is only 10% of people who have entered, because this means after your competition, you're not going to see a huge amount of unfollows from your social media, which is what traditionally happens with a like and follow to win competition. Now, it may sound like I'm being overly negative or overly critical of like and follow to win competitions, and they do have their time and place, and I have run them for clients before. But for me, they are just not worth it. They are a massive waste of time and money, because it's so hard to get back your return on investment from like and follow to win competitions. So I would highly recommend that you try and enter your email to win competition. Use that tactic that I've just shown you. You're still going to build your followers. They're just going to be far more genuine. They're going to be far more engaged. And also you're going to have an email address, which is going to be far more likely to turn into a sale. If you have enjoyed this episode and if you have enjoyed these tips that I've shared with you today, then I am running a masterclass very soon on how to run competitions for sales and revenue and not just likes and follows. So make sure you check the link in the show notes for upcoming dates for that. And if you have enjoyed this episode, I would absolutely love it if you could share it with your business owner and marketer friends. Don't forget to rate and review, and of course, follow and subscribe so you can catch the next episode of Competition Curious wherever you get your podcasts. I have been Suki Van Kay. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you on the next Competition Curious episode.